And nobody has ever injected steroids into Ukrainian patriotism or nationalism the way Putin now has.
I see. So it's really important to the United States then that Ukraine continue and not be occupied by Russia, right? It's important to the United States.
I think it's absolutely vital that we not abandon a free and democratic ally of America who wants to be more like America and more like Europe. And by the way, I should also tell you that we have we made a commitment there back. There's something called the Budapest. When the Soviet Union fell apart, there were nuclear weapons in Ukraine. We wanted the Ukraine to give up those nuclear weapons. So we sat down with them. The Russians sat down and said, we want you to give them up. And what do you want in exchange? And what they said is just
freedom.
Everybody, no. Our territorial integrity will be respected. That's all we want.
Well, right.
And that Budapest memo was signed by America and by Russia. And it was not respected. It was violated in 2014 when Putin took Ukraine. And did we, as signatories to the Budapest memo, say that's unacceptable? No, there were a few sanctions, a little bit of a wrist slap for Putin. We got on with it. We didn't, right? But we did guarantee that's, by the way, the memo also says, well, we'll take it to the Security Council. Well, that's a crazy idea because who's on the Security Council? Russia. It's a permanent member. Makes sense. So for all these reasons, there is, and nobody has ever injected steroids into Ukrainian patriotism or nationalism the way Putin now has.
I see.
Right? Because like when I was there as an election observer, there were pro-Russian parties. And when I talk to people from the pro-Russian parties, they say, yeah, we need good relations. You don't want to poke the bear. And they're our brothers, essentially. They got 13.5% of the vote, as I recall, in the 2019 election.
And they get less now.
That's it. I don't think they'd get 1% now. No, listen, there are always going to be quislings. There are always going to be traitors. There are always going to be. And by the way, we were talking here at FDD. We had a very interesting meeting with a former CIA agent who served in Moscow several tours. I thought he was very smart, very good. His Russian was very good. I spoke to him in Russian a bit. And he said, and they told me something I didn't know. He said, Donbass which is this eastern section, he said, it's an interesting and different part of the country. You got those there who think of themselves as Russians, those who think of themselves as Ukrainians. And then you got the Cossacks. And that's a whole nother thing what the Cossacks are, because the Cossacks, people don't, it's really fascinating. They're basically Ukrainians, but they're not really an ethnic group. They're a warrior tribe. They're mixed Tatar and Turkic and Mongol and Russian and Polish and Ukrainian, all kinds, and they think of themselves sort of differently. They were used by the czars as kind of as expeditionary forces. They were terrible to the Jews. A lot of pogroms were carried out by the Cossacks, but they were this kind of warrior class that under the czars, and there's still people who think of themselves as Cossacks. They don't, at least that's their kind of primary identity, and a lot of them are in Donbass. Anyhow, it's a bit of a confusing situation, and there, as you know, big battles are taking place now. The one in Bakhmut is a very important battle that's been taking place for months and months and months and months, a grinding battle.